Okay, so at this point, you're impressed with a potential partner's website and clientele. So, what are some of the next steps to go through once you've researched them, you've done some initial homework?
Contact them, talk to them, see if there's any kind of a rapport. The reality is that although you're building a virtual environment, the relationship between yourself, your firm, and not only that other firm, but the people representing that firm is going to be a human relationship. Do they get you? Do they understand what you're trying to communicate? Do they have enough background so that when you mention a firm, they go, oh, we're familiar with them? Make sure that that rapport is there, because if in that first communication, it's just not going smoothly, it may or may not grow and get better, but you're off to a rocky start.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the other things, and we touched on it earlier, was do they have a complete team? Is this who you're talking to just a web designer who focuses on look and feel, and then he outsources programming to India? This can cause a lot of problems, not the least of which is the time delay between the two places. But there is, although technically in India they speak English, the syntax is very different. And so that can create communication problems. It can even create problems in code. So you want to try to choose a firm that has the capabilities to do everything that you're going to need.
Keeping the tasks in-house
Absolutely.
is a key. And
Absolutely.
one of the ways that you found success at WebJuris, definitely. So what does your team entail again? What components do you have that make up those parts?
Okay,
Just so
in no particular order,
Yeah.
let's go with look and feel. We have web designers who
They're going to select the colors and
design the logos, pick the fonts, those types of things.
Okay.
Then you've got the technical people who handle the servers. We do our own hosting, which isn't a requirement, but it makes life easier for developers.
So you host all the content in-house in your place. That's
Absolutely.
usually not the norm, is it?
Well, for smaller firms, no.
Yeah.
No, because it's an expensive setup.
Exactly.
But it does make development a lot smoother.
Wow.
And that same person is also who usually handles, for instance, setting up your email accounts. And if you want to add people, you have a new partner that's coming in or a new staff member that needs their own email. It's usually that person that you're working with. Then you've got the actual programmers who do the more complex kind of functionalities on your site. And these can be many and diverse. Everything from putting in calendars, setting up blogs, doing user forums. There are all kinds of potentials.
So they handle the functionality aspects of the site.
Correct, and actually do the coding. And then usually go back and work with the designer to make it look a particular way on that particular site. The programmers they don't run what it's going to look like. They do what it works like.
Yeah.
Then you've got the search engine marketing people. That can be broken up into several different categories. There's the pay-per-click model. This is when you look on Google or Yahoo and you see the little blue box at the top or going down the side. Those are essentially ads. Often we've found attorneys, especially the smaller shops, that, oh, I've done that and it didn't work. Well, like anything else, you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of ways. I wouldn't call them tricks. It's just knowing your industry. Writing the ad well, what the search engine considers well, will actually get you a lower cost per click. The having a landing page that is well written and directly tied to the search terms. These are all things that get you better cost per click. If those things are in place, the search engine will then determine that you have a higher probability of getting clicked on, which means more money for them, which means they're going to give you higher placement.
Because they want
the turnover, absolutely. So even in something as simple as pay-per-click, there are many things that you should be really well aware of and experienced in before you try and spend a lot of money, because depending on what your practice area is, that can get expensive very quickly.
So there are a lot of parts that make up the web development firm.
Absolutely.
And everybody does a different job. And
search engine optimization is probably the most complex of them.
Nobody understands.
Not necessarily
like,
technically.
Seems like everybody understands a couple little bits and pieces of this and that, but I mean, it's almost impossible to know the whole picture, obviously, because they shroud it in secrecy. Like
the search engines keep secrets better than Los Alamos, I think, because even they had their Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. I have yet to see the equivalent coming out of Google. They do not announce when they're going to do an algorithm change, which is the formula, the system that they use to determine who gets ranked how for what keywords. So there'll be mornings when I arrive at work and the guys that are there before me are going nuts because last night Yahoo or Google did an algorithm change and everything's inside out.
How do they find out?
Go do a search real quick, and you used to be number 3 for a particular keyword, and all of a sudden it's on the 7th page. And things that are on the first page are things that you're looking at going, that
So
makes no sense.
if they change one algorithm,
oh, absolutely.
and aren't there a number of algorithms involved?
Well, there's a single algorithm, but it takes into account many different factors.
Okay.
Many different factors. The primary and we hope overriding one is the content on the website. Is it appropriate to that particular search? But the reality is that there are many others. Google pioneered the use of incoming links to determine a site's importance.
Because the more links you have, the more popular it is?
You got it. It's like prom night. It's like prom night. So one of the aspects that a search engine optimization campaign has to take into account is a link campaign and making sure that you have appropriate links coming back to your site.
When you say appropriate links, what?
Well, let me give you for instance, okay? Most attorneys are not going to want direct competitors.
And this is almost a part of managing your online practice and managing your online reputation.
Oh, it absolutely is.
So something like building links to your site and in and out, that can affect your online reputation and your practice as well.
It will. It will affect it in the sense that it will affect the rankings that you get. And if they're not good rankings, there's your business. There goes your business out the window.
Yeah.
So you want things that are not direct competitors, but are compatible. So for instance, let's say you're a personal injury attorney and a large area of your practice is auto accidents.
Yeah.
Links from insurance companies, links from auto body repair shops. Anything that would be of interest and related to what you do, but not necessarily
directly.
Competition.
Okay.
You could have a firm that practices the same exact type of law, but in another state. Because they're not direct competition. A California attorney cannot practice unless he's also licensed in New York and vice versa. But the fact that they're linked to each other shows that you're in that industry, that you're serious about what you're doing. Certain types of links carry more weight than others. Links within the body of text carry more weight. So there are a lot of things that a search engine optimization person has to know. And this is beyond what the average person knows. Oh yeah, you have to have meta tags. Well, yes, meta tags are kind of sort of important, but have become less so over the years. The search engines focus now more on body content. It also has to do with how the site is structured. So for instance, at our firm, everything that we do, everything, how we host the site, the type of programming languages that we use, the look and feel of the site structure, the way the menu systems are, how links are established, are all based on one criteria: what's good for the search engines.
Wow.
If you don't have that case, what'll happen is you'll have someone design the site, it'll look beautiful, it'll work fine, but it's not search engine friendly. Now you've got to go hire another separate search engine optimization firm that's going to come back and go
tell you how to redesign your site.
Basically rip it apart and start all over again.
And that's one of the huge advantages that you have in a firm when you've got everything under one roof.
Doing it all at one time.
You're not running around piecemeal to a programmer, designer, SEO.
And you've been doing it all along.
Right there. So it's much more efficient. And it is such a process.